Welcome back. So, it has been quite a while. I sincerely apologize. I blame it on, well, let's just say if you're my age and you have experienced the last couple of months, I think you know what was going on. Anyways, so I have not actually been completely stagnant. I've done quite a bit. I just have been kind of burnt out on making videos and also haven't had a lot of storage on my laptop. So, haven't exactly been able to make stuff, but I have quite a few things to show off today. So yeah, I'm editing this, so I moved the most interesting thing first. So bear with me here. If we go into, where is it? The first proper actual mission in the game that's like well done and shit. I'm gonna put this little spoiler warning here. If you actually for some reason care about lore and story and shit in this game, then maybe you don't want to watch this part. I really don't know. So yeah. Alright. Yeah, there's your spoiler warning. Three, two, one, Wabushki. Yeah, so I've been working on a first actual proper missions with like scripting and shit. This is the Cryostation. Ignore the floating beds. That's just I think I remember. Yeah, I moved the props around a bit. But yeah, there's lore. The lore. It's Mr. Lore. No way. It's him. It's the guy. You could find the Five Nights at Freddy's insert Matt Pat joke here. Rest in peace, gone too soon. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I've been working on, a lot of backend things. Like there's keypads that actually work. I've been doing some animating, which I'm not going to show off here because it's technically an actual proper spoiler. But I've been trying to make this entire scene A, visually nice to look at, B, encourage you to explore a little bit, and C, as kind of like a tech demo to try and test out a couple custom just implementations for various things. So, as always, the keep cat pad is by default 0451 because if you know, you know. If you don't know, well, it's Fahrenheit 451, I think. Oh wait, no, it's System Shock reference. Anyways, coolio. So this is very work in progress, but we've got some fancy props. You can see me there with a shitty reflection probe. Got a fucking bed. Got the lore, no way. The lore, the generic lore tablet that every single game seems to have. Oh my god, no way, it's the lore. There's another one here, I have no idea where it went. I love that. And yeah, so very work in progress. Um, I've got a couple other things, like I've got a friend of mine who maybe, depending on how much work they have, might be able to do some custom music for this. Unlikely, we will see. But yeah, so this is going to be the first of a couple random missions that I'm going to be putting in for this update to hopefully give you guys something to actually fucking do in the game. So, yeah, yippee. Moving back to real-time Smoober to continue the video, I guess. So, first off, I want to talk about the status of the Styx update. Probably not going to be referred to as the Quest update or something else like that. It's in the works. I've almost approached, I'm almost at feature lock in terms of I have everything in it that I want, and I think it's just in the bug fixing pass. There's a couple things I want to add before I start going into the hell that is fixing all the bugs and all the other stuff for release, but I'm shooting to get it out sooner rather than later. No promises though, because I picked up another project, well, two other major projects, and I'm very lazy, so I'll be getting it out as time permits, hopefully as soon as possible. So, first off, thing that I want to talk about, we have the cool guy right here. I have completely rejiggered the entirety of the player base. So, the old system for our character player, like the thingy, the person, or whatever, the character in the game, was hot fucking dog shit. It still is not amazing, but now it's been rejiggered to work based off of a character body 2D instead of a richer body 2D, or 3D. I can't remember if I already talked about this, but the gist of it is now you will no longer clip through walls on planets. There's a lot more things that are just less scuffed. Moving platforms actually work, although those don't really exist quite yet, and there's a lot of jank with that too. And generally, the entire experience, you won't slide around anywhere near as much as you used to. So it'll be significantly less painful and scuffed. And one thing I might actually do is I made a standalone version of this player, and I might end up releasing that because it's just really helpful, and Actually, I'm kind of proud of the code. The code is actually really neat and shit, and I spent a lot of time on it. So yeah, that's cool. Other than that, a bunch of other back-end improvements, tons of bugs fixed, like a mountain of random just jank has been patched out, improved, and generally just completely polished over. So yeah, you'll notice a much smoother, less horrid gameplay experience whenever you play. So moving on to the next thing, I finally figured out deployable props. So we see we have this custom poster right here. This thing also has a couple other additional cool stuff, so if I just throw this down, you'll see, yeah, first off, the deployment actually fucking works, which is crazy, I know. And there's a lot of very scuffed math to do it. It's so weird the way that it works, but it does work, and fairly consistently well. I've been playing a lot of Subnautica, so, you know, of course I implemented this, but you'll notice there's some interesting images. It changes the aspect ratio and all the other stuff. It took way too long to set up, except not really. It was actually really fucking easy. It just, you know, scales all wrong. But anyways, the gist here is there is now a custom posters folder within the data folder for the game that you can find in the same place where you put your custom music. You can put whatever images you want in there. If you put in too big ones, you might end up with, oh yeah, transparency also works for it. If you put in ones that are too big, you might end up with posters that just span the entire length of time and space. But generally, it should be mostly fine. But yeah, the lighting's a little scuffed right now. I'm working on fixing up the dynamic lighting so that it works better. I think I just need to modify the way that we're baking lighting across all the ships, which I should have done anyway. But yeah, once that's fixed, they should be lit just fine. But yeah, so that's a thing. I've also been tested this with all the other deployable items, and it works pretty well. And also now you can parent. So you could parent deployables to other objects. So if I put a marker onto the ground, it'll stick to the ground and it'll move with it. But yeah, that's the deployable fixes. There's been a fucking shit ton of stuff changed there. So if I actually just hop into a game real quick, so there's now a new core system that's present on every single ship in the game called the comm system. The core functionality of it is it allows you to show like the markers for various world waypoints. So ignore the horrid frame rate. I'm working on it. Yikes, that is bad. I sincerely apologize. So if I hop in here, get some lights in here. Where the fuck is? This is the comm system. So it requires power, same as most other systems. So just turn on the batteries. So the gist of this is 365 channels with some fancy draggable dial shenaniganry that took me way too long to set up. The gist of it is, whenever you place down a marker, do I have a marker in here, or do I need to give myself one? Looks like I need to give myself one. Yippee! Okay. So the gist of it is that you can, where is it? Copy path. This is a bit of there's also a give item command now. It is not meant for usage outside of debugging. It requires the absolute file system paths. So you see, this gives you a little number on top of it, fades away once you move away from it, 228. So if I go over here, tune towards 228, you'll hear the staticky sound gets quieter. That might be a little harder for you guys to hear. The staticky sound gets a little quieter, and that means that you're getting close to this frequency. So if I turn on the VMS real quick. Alright, so if we very slowly rotate around to look at our still not moved ship interior over there, you can see that big old weird, Jesus. Nas, help me out here. Yeah, you can see our marker, except we lost power to the comm system, so now we can't see it because we're out of power. Good stuff. Love that. Anyways, but if I turn on the comm system, you can see that, and if I move our frequency away from it, you can see it disappears, and it starts like glitching out and shit. So this is basically, the gist of that is that it allows us to have multiple different markers and allows you to tune into specific ones. It's also meant to give the notepad up here a usage. You can write down frequencies and whatever shit. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. Moving on to something in the Voyager. If I open up the Voyager scene real quick, wait 6 years for it to load because it's the most horrendously heavy ship in the game despite not having any actual PBR textures, and show off a little addition to make the Grand as a whole a little less scuffed. So, hop in real quick. Yippee! Okay, let's head on up here. So, previously, the Grand docking undocking process from the cockpit was not exactly very polished. It would literally just put a non-transparent fucking stream of the Grand dock panels down there that thing's viewport up onto here is the most scuffed-ass garbage imaginable. Now we have this dedicated little terminal panel type thing that is effectively a in-cockpit analog of the panel down. Most importantly, you've got blast doors, the docking view toggle, and the deployment all located on this panel. They can't exactly show it off now because in this debug scene for the ships, there's no scene main, and so we can't add children correctly, it'll crash. But in the actual game, you just hit deploy when the doors are open, and it should just work. And this toggles between docking view. You can see we're looking down at the interior, and if we turn it back off, we're looking straight into the endless void. Yippee! But yeah, so as a result, I'm going to get rid of the docking view, undocking Grand, and yeah, from there, and probably replace them with other functionality. But yeah, that's another system for the AC220, or sorry, for the Voyager exclusively. I've been working on tweaking the lighting of this interior model, and I need to change this to the new one. So yeah, there's a bunch of tweaks that have to happen there. But yeah. Alright, so one last thing before we wrap up. I picked up a copy of whatever it's called, Hard Ops and Box Cutter, as well as I think a copy of Mesh Machine. I don't think I have that enabled, and I haven't figured out how to use that properly. But basically, I've been working on some very fancy materials and trim sheets and shit for the newer ships, and just generally learning better modeling techniques and hard surface stuff. So, hopefully, you guys will be seeing some nicer looking graphics and some other stuff. I don't know if that'll come in this update or not. We will see. But yeah, I've been working on that. Best purchase of my life. Highly recommend. Good stuff. Alright, that's all I have for you guys for Endless Abyss today. I'll probably make another video shortly after this one with some of the other stuff I've been working on. A little hint, it has to do with the Source Engine, because I love the Source Engine. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for being so patient, and I hope to be getting this update out to you guys sooner rather than later. To be honest, no promises, but hey, when have I ever been consistent? I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, have a great day, and peace.